Hey, what's up guys? Aloha! In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I'm adding attachment points to my rod tubes. And in this case, I'm adding them to my Angler's Pal rod tube. As you can see, there's no attachment points for leashes to the rod or to the kayak. So that's why I'm using this method to add them to these rod tubes. You can also use this method for adding them to Scotty rocket launchers, which most of you know doesn't have them either. It doesn't have attachment points. The Ram brand, they have mounting ears where you could attach leashes and tethers and whatnot. But in this case, the Scotty one and the Angler's Pal doesn't have them. So it's just simple 550 cord, just wrapped up, and that's basically it. And I got this idea from all these kayaks that I've seen in Hawaii. Well, before the advent of the influx of Hobie kayaks, everybody was paddling Scupper Pros and Tridents, and the local dealer here equipped most of them, the fishing ones, the fishing kayaks, they equipped them with these Angler's Pal rod tubes. And on some of the kayaks where they was mounted, it was pretty well, first of all, the base of this rod tube is aluminum, but it's kind of small, the diameter. So if they mounted them in a location where it was large and flat and thin, then it would flex a lot with the rod inside the tube, of course. But that's where this comes in. A lot of people were finding that out, and then they started wrapping them with 550 cord, and then tying them off to the boat and tying them off to other rod holders and triangulating it and whatnot to make it stiffer, so it'll support the rod, the weight of the rod, and if you catch something, the weight of the tug of the fish. So that way it prevent the fish from ripping out the rod tube and the mount, or ripping up the kayak. So that's where I got the idea from, watching videos and seeing a bunch of kayaks with these on. So you could mount this higher, lower, wherever you want it. It's just, again, simple 550 cord, just wrapped up. There you go. I have this taped off already. I'm only using tape because this surface is very slippery, and the 550 cord was going to slip. So that's why I have the black tape. But you could also use black tape on here also, just to provide grip, so it'll be easier to do the project. Anyway, what you need is a length of Paracord 550 cord. I had it cut to a particular length that I measured already. I did a couple of wraps, and I kind of figured out how much I need without having to have the whole roll of 550 to mess around with. And then you need some kind of line, a thinner line like this. I forget what this was. This is some fishing line, braided line, but it's like pretty strong. I think so. This is like 80-pound test, or you could use a 50-pound or 80-pound test mono, or braided line also. I mean, a real fishing braided line. But I'll show you what you need this for later in the project. But anyway, start with your 550 cord, and then you tie a knot as close as you can get to the end. It doesn't have to be super close. It's just an overhand knot. Okay, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna kind of determine how big you want your loop. What the knot is for is to prevent it from slipping through underneath the wrap. So that's what it's there for. So don't worry about just get it to the roughly the same size as the one that you want. Okay, and then I got some black tape here that I cut earlier just to locate it. I think so. I should bring it more in there. I'm gonna line it up here. Yeah, you're gonna want to decide where you want it also, or you could have multiple locations. And then try and get these two lines butted up against each other. And then you still could pull through that like that. And then you still can adjust the size of the loop. So if you want it the same as this one, you just hold it in place and then just slowly estimate how the loop size you want it. Okay, there you go. Then squeeze the tape, make sure it's all good, and then just do a crossover like that, and then kind of hold that knot there. Don't pull too hard for this first wrap because it's gonna pull it out from under the tape. Okay, and then that's your first wrap, and then now you can gradually tighten it up. So you're gonna have to go over the first line, and then your first wrap intersection goes over that line. So you just, as tight as you can, just wrap it on top up against the previous wrap, as tight as you can, but you don't have to go. Oh, you want to try and get it as close as possible to the next line, but you could squeeze it together later on. Okay, so about this point, I gotta take a look at this one. There's 4 wraps that I did, so over this line. So I think so I only have 3 right there. So I think so one more. Okay, so you want to do it on the opposite side of the loop, and then throw your loop under the wraps and then continue wrapping. But this time you're not going to want to go too tight. Kind of lessen the tension on the wrap, because you want some space to pull the tag in under the wraps. Okay, I kind of underestimated it there. That's 4 right there. I think so I could go one more. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna do it easy enough. Again, throw it under on the very opposite side of the loop. Okay, again, not as tight as previous wrap, just kind of just still tight, but not too tight. Okay, so now hopefully this is loose enough. And then you're gonna put the end. Oh, I think so. I made a boo-boo here. When I cut this paracord, I melted the end, so right now there's a bell at the end, a bump. So I gotta clear that away, or else it won't go through. There you go. Okay. And then just a tip. That way it's easier to pull through. So just maintain tension on here, so it's not going to unravel, and just boom. And then using the pliers, get it super tight, as tight as you can, and then you can bunch up all these wraps, make it look nice, presentable. Test it. Again, you could always make it better later on, but just make sure this end here is as tight as you can get it. Okay, looks good. Then you're gonna wanna cut it as close, not as close as you can, but pretty close. You still need some there, just to that's about enough. And then you're gonna want to use a lighter to melt that end and make a bell or a mushroom head, so it won't slip through that gap. So it's like this. It's just enough. Yeah, so there you go. You got some attachment points to your rod tubes. You could do the same thing on the Scotty ones and whatever other brands that do not have attachment points. Yeah, so there you go. Hey, I just wanted to show you guys how this Angler's Pal rod holder works. I'm pretty surprised that I don't see much more information about this rod holder. Only seen it here in Hawaii and on boats, I guess, but they're great. They're very adjustable and they swivel easy, and when you lock them down, they're locked. They're super tight. Not like the ram tubes where you can tighten them on as much as you can with your hand and then it still slips. And the way you mount this is through this Allen bolt. It goes into a base, and then you just screw it on with this locating pin. But yeah, if you guys want to know more about this, let me know, or just look it up on Google. So yeah, hopefully this this idea helps you guys out, gives you guys more ideas on how to. I mean, you could use this wrap, this type of attachment point on your PVC rod holders as well, if you don't want to drill holes into the PVC rod holders. So yeah, very versatile way of adding attachment points with simple paracord, and no glue, no screws, no bolts, and yeah. All right, catch you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please subscribe. Tight lines. All right, guys. Aloha.